Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Air Force Global Strike Command Commercial Capabilities Showcase. This is our second AMA. Small Business Consulting Corporation is hosting this for Global Strike, and we just wanted to say thank you for coming. Our hope is that this AMA will be really helpful to the commercial companies who are going to submit applications as we try to bring in the best companies and technologies that we can to help the servicemen and women of Global Strike. Our purpose is to go into detail today, just regarding what the showcase is about, what the benefits are for you, how to apply, and then give you a chance to directly ask any initial questions that you may have. My name is Cody Ray. I am the Deputy Director of Technology Scouting and Vetting at Small Business Consulting Corporation, and I'll be emceeing this event today. Before we get into kind of the meat of the instructions, there's a few housekeeping things. As you're typing in your questions, be sure that you don't use the chat, but please use the Q&A button to put in your questions. Be careful not to share proprietary information in your questions. This meeting is public. It is being recorded. We do have a team of folks working off camera that may be able to respond directly when you leave a question, but we will certainly try to get to it vocally, publicly, if it's not answered, off mic. You can go ahead and begin asking your questions now. And when you ask your question, please identify at the beginning which topic you're referring to. We do have 6 topics that Global Strike is trying to get after. So if you're asking a question related to XR, for example, or additive manufacturing, just please put that at the beginning of your question so that the correct team knows to address that question. Also, if you're willing to share how your company heard about this showcase, that'd be really helpful to us as we seek to find better and better ways to get the word out. So please feel free to throw that. You can even throw that in the Q&A, and we'll just make a note of it and then cut it off there. So before we meet the government leads and the SBCC leads, just want to cover some basic facts for the showcase. What's the role of SBCC with respect to this project in Global Strike? So, the United States Air Force and SBCC, we're glad you're here. You're why we exist. And at SBCC, we're working with major commands in the Air Force as a part of the Commercial Capabilities, Integration, and Transition Initiatives. So we're hired by Global Strike to find the tech that our warfighters need to be and remain superior. And one of our emphases is scouring the technology landscape to bring the Air Force and DoD technologies that they didn't know existed. But what we really like doing is finding out precisely what our military needs, is willing to put manpower, resources, time, money towards, and then go find solutions that meet those needs, show them the options that are out there. We are on contract, again, with multiple commands, actively working many projects with them, bringing in new technologies. And one of the more public ways we do this is by hosting commercial capability showcases like this one. Again, this particular showcase has 6 different topic areas. It allows many companies to compete for the right to meet face-to-face with Air Force decision makers and present their tech in person to showcase finalists. At our last Global Strike showcase, several of the companies that were finalists were selected as winners, and Global Strike began to work with them. As you probably know, the military can be really a great partner, a lucrative partner for companies. It can also be a long, challenging road, and so that's one of the reasons we exist. The military exists to protect us and to defend us, and they do a great job at that. But we want to help them learn how to interact well with business and teach business how to speak DoD and speak Air Force language. And that's really our purpose, is to help military and commercial companies understand and work well together. I always like to remind businesses that since the government has hired us, we are a free service to you, commercial companies, with whom we work, as we try to help you get your technology exposed to Global Strike in this case. How do companies benefit from participating in the showcase? First, there are really benefits to each company that simply submits an application, not even being down selected, but just submitting. There's a lot of benefits, and you see them on your screen there. First, your submission, your technology is going to be evaluated by Global Strike subject matter experts, the folks who know what they're talking about and can do that. Jim, I think you've got comms on there. Yeah, thank you, sir. So you're going to receive valuable feedback from these evaluators to help you see where your submission and tech is strong and where it can be improved. Your evaluators may also identify additional areas, ways that your tech solutions could be beneficial to the Air Force or the DoD, and maybe suggest other connections for you. Sometimes it's not what you know, but who you know. And if you know the right folks, they may be able to give you connections that you didn't even think about. SBCC can also offer potential connections with the same or additional problem sets that we're aware of from our previous work with other commands, such as AMC, ATC, Warner Robins, etc. And we may be aware of ways that your tech could scratch the itch of those other customers, and we can share that. You'll also be added to SBCC's business network database so that when Air Force DoD customers ask us for tech solutions that happen to be in your area, yours is one of the names that pops up, and we can present your tech to them. Finalists, however, this is kind of the second stage and the second level of benefit, are going to be invited to join us in person and demonstrate the technology to key Air Force decision makers who control over $3 million in funding that can be used towards developing your solution and bringing it to Global Strike Command. Additional research and development funding may be available to you as well through SBIRs and other means, and we can try to help you with that. SBCC will again assist you free of charge with that process. Finalists also will present their tech face-to-face with SMEs and financial decision makers and receive in-person feedback from them. You also have the opportunity to build relationships with key government decision makers, other key personnel from the Air Force, other MAGCOMs, depots, organizations who choose to attend. Further, finalists will have a chance to shake hands and chat over hors d'oeuvres and drinks at a 2-hour Collider event on Wednesday evening, July 30th. That's the close of day one of the showcase. And this is really a rare and unique opportunity to rub elbows with the people who understand the problem and want to find a way that your technology can scratch their itch. And it's a chance to get to meet them, to get to know them, to go back and forth and build relationships. And if you've been around for a while, you know that those relationships can be key. If you meet the right people, they can put you in contact with the right problem sets, problem owners, other people, and that can really make all the difference in the world. So making it to the finals position is really what we're after here. And finalists will have access to venture capital representatives who may attend in person as well. So overall, the bottom line is that the showcase can be your foot in the door to begin working with the United States Air Force and the Department of Defense. What's the overall application process? How will the submissions be evaluated? First, be aware that applications are accepted April 28 through May 24. Perhaps Joel will be able to put that website up into the chat. Again, we're not looking for large proposals. We want to keep it clear and concise. There will be a number of proposals coming in, and it'll be a quad chart, a short white paper, an optional 3-minute video, and we want to keep those uniform and clean so that the government SMEs are able to compare apples to apples. When you read the instruction document, please follow it very closely. We've tried to be as specific as we can to stay in there exactly what is being asked of you and what's needed. If you have questions, we have someone to help you. His name is Jim Long. His email is jim.long@smallbcc.com. Again, Joel, if you could put that in there as well, that would be great. And note again, since there are 6 topic areas, please be sure that you read the instructions that pertain to your particular topic. You don't want to get mixed up, with any of the other topics. We've tried to delineate that clearly, but quick scrolling and you might miss it. So just be super careful. After you complete your submission, Global Strike will evaluate the applications, and an SBCC will assist them in the use of the Valid Eval tool and in the evaluation as needed. We're going to use the Valid Eval rubric and algorithms to ensure that every company receives unbiased, equal, and fair treatment. And then Global Strike, of course, are the decision makers. They're going to make the final down selection in mid-June. Finalists are then going to be invited for in-person demonstration. That's going to be held Wednesday and Thursday, July 30 and 31 in Bossier City, Louisiana. Again, there's a follow-on Collider social the evening of the 30th. So make sure you keep that in mind if you're selected as a finalist. And we're looking for probably 15 to 18 presentations to fit into that 2-day period. The final number will, of course, depend on the government's preference. I see a couple of questions are already there. Again, now is a great time to be putting those questions in. Right before we get to questions, I'd like to simply briefly let each topic be introduced by either the SBCC or the government lead. And we'll go ahead and start with topic number 1. That's going to be the XR topic. And I believe that Gilbert is going to be addressing that. Would you be willing to introduce yourself and then just give a brief overview of your topic?
Good afternoon. I'm Sergeant Megan Gilbert, Global Strike Maintenance Training Functional Area Manager. And our topic focuses on the augmented and extended reality for solutions for mission readiness. So trying to take a step away from the formal classroom and looking into the remote collaboration, the reach back, being able to deliver the technology to the maintainer while they are performing the task in order to get them the real-time execution and proficiency that they need.
Super, fantastic. Thanks so much, Master Sergeant Gilbert. We appreciate that. The second topic is additive manufacturing, and Mike Hansen from SBCC will introduce himself and speak to that briefly.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's Mike Hansen. Thank you for attending this event. The additive manufacturing solution for rapid sustainment of Air Force Global Strike weapon systems to include part obsolescence and aging fleet availability. Basically, that's a lot saying that we have airplanes that we quit building about 40 years ago, 50 years ago, and some of those parts need to be replaced because we're still using them. So we're looking for an additive manufacturing to on-site manufacturing of those parts and doing field level repair and creation of replacement parts using all the specs and requirements that are on our modern airplanes. If you have any other further questions, just put them in the chat and we'll get back to you.
Super, thank you. The swarm detect and defeat topic, we have several folks here. Matt Franchetti, if you'd introduce yourself, and then if you would ask the several government folks to introduce themselves, and then you can introduce the topic.
Perfect. Hey, everyone. I am Matt Franchetti, work for SBCC, but I'm assisting Global Strike A3S for their Counter Suez Swarm Fixed Site Location topic. Before I go into that, I'll introduce them. We have Senior Master Sergeant Weisenhunt. Are you online, sir?
He had comms earlier, maybe taking a moment, but he did have comms.
That's okay. We also have Master Sergeant Meadows. Are you there?
Yes, sir. I got you loud and clear.
Awesome.
Master Sergeant Meadows, could you do just a brief introduction of yourself so the folks understand the SME they're speaking with?
Yes, sir. David Meadows, work for A3S. Currently fill the ICBM program manager billet, as well as the weapons and tactics program manager for the security forces members within Global Strike Command.
Thank you, sir. Go ahead, Jetty.
Excellent. And up next, have Erica Prince online. You there, Erica?
Yes, I'm here. Hello, I'm the Counter UAS Program Manager for Global Strike.
Rounding out the team, we also have Mandy Sanders online. Right.
She's also having a little comm issue over there, but she's the other Counter UAS Blue Program Manager.
Perfect. Appreciate it. So as you can see, for our SMEs, we have the senior who's also lead on this, and then a lot of support from program managers and leads for the Counter Suez portfolio. And in that portfolio, we had this topic that we're looking for commercial solutions to be able to detect, track, and identify or defeat small UAS swarms, and that's in a fixed environment. Really, we're looking for any technology that can do minimal additional manpower efforts. We don't have robust manpower, so minimal additional manpower is preferred. We are interested in open architecture frameworks and operating effectively with limited operator intervention. And so you should specify in your solutions all your capabilities, your limitations, the distances, your interoperability, your integration with other systems, and anything unique that makes your system stand out. So for detection, for example, we're looking for multi-sensors, what's the ranges, how do you handle multi-drone swarms, and how do you identify a group 1 through 3 small UAS, or what's the way to identify the most relevant threat in that swarm? And then how would you track and identify those threats and defeat them? With layered effectors, we'll look at kinetic, non-kinetic, and we're also very interested in high power microwave or directed energy weapons in your layered effort. The system architecture, as I mentioned, should be open with the ability to integrate, and we need you to describe your command and control and how you manage detection, tracking, and engagement decisions. Along with that, again, threat determination, and then looking again for the big thing of directed energy capabilities if you have them. We're also interested in your FAA compliance and how your system operates within the FAA regulations and weatherization. Global Strike has 8 bases as far north as North Dakota, all the way down to Texas. So we're looking to see if your system has been tested at all for heat, extreme cold, wind, rain. If you've worked with MIL standards, it's MIL standard 810H for various environmental conditions. So looking for all that information and excited to see what the industry has out there for Global Strike A3S.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, Shetty and team. Really appreciate you guys. Topic 4, the two-way high frequency. Captain, let's see, Ryan Erickson first. Would you be willing to introduce yourself? And then you can introduce Captain Suh.
Absolutely. Hey, good day, everybody. I'm Ryan Erickson, a project manager over here at SBCC and subject matter expert on topic number 4, assisting Captain Suh on the government side. Sir, would you like to chime in and say hi real quick?
Excuse me. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Captain Suh. I am your CCIT's Program Management Branch Chief, working with Mr. Erickson here on the miniaturized portable two-way HF system as well.
What we're looking for here is Global Strike's looking to improve their long-haul communications capabilities by seeking a miniaturized portable two-way HF system capable of both receiving and transmitting HF signals. Keynote here, the solution must be small enough to be carried by an individual with an emphasis on mobile, team deployable operations in austere environments. So size matters for this approach. We want it to be deployable, obviously reliable, so convey that in your proposal. We understand there's a myriad of systems out there that could meet this capability, but we're also looking for other outlying tech that bolsters the HF communications. So keep in mind, our primary target is to maintain that long-haul communication connectivity when SATCOM is disabled, and that should help frame your proposal. Standing by for any questions. Feel free to post them in the Q&A section, and myself and Captain Suh will be standing by. Thanks, Cody.
Great. Thanks, Ryan. Thanks, Captain Suh. Topic 5, the tracking targeting platform. Again, I think we have Captain Suh, and then we also have Nate Don to speak to those. Captain Suh has introduced himself. Nate, would you like to introduce yourself, sir?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Nathan Dawn. I'm the Deputy Division Chief for Commercial Capabilities Integration Transition Division, and welcome to the Ask Me Anything. For this capability, basically we're looking for a modular system. So this is the ability to house different type of directed energy effectors, but having kind of an open system modular platform that does the detect, track, and engage piece. And Captain Suh, would you like to add to that, please?
Yes, sir. Mr. Don said everything that we needed, and the type of direct energy that we're looking for is on a high power microwave level that is able to automatically detect and counter, as previously stated in the counter UAV discussion topic number 3. Manpower is constrained here, so being able to detect and shoot down something is critical using that high power microwave solution.
Very good. Thank you, gentlemen. Last topic, portable laser detection. We have Mike Hansen again and Captain Suh, both who have introduced themselves. Mike, would you like to briefly mention what this topic is about?
Yeah, this is seeking a technology that we can basically use to identify the point of origin of a laser and then give that information to air crew so that they can make on-time decisions on how to respond to that. Also, Captain, so if you have anything to add or Nate, please do.
Yes, sir. As Mr. Hansen said, that's really straight to the point. We have adversaries that are uh, embedded in our towns and homes nearby and that are shooting lasers into our air crew's cockpit that are really blinding them, distracting them, and even hurting our air crew and that in ways that they should not be affected. And so having this system that can automatically detect and alert the air crew is very crucial. That type of platform, whether that would be on the helmet or a dashboard, like a heads-up display, or like a sat nav in the old days, that's up to the vendor to present to us, and for us to take a look at your solutions.
Okay, super. Thank you so much. Appreciate you all introducing yourselves and the topic. So now we're going to move to the question and answer period. Seems like things have already been active. Some have been asked and answered already in an online format. There are some questions to be asked and answered live here as well. So I'll go ahead and start. For topic 1, for the AR/XR solutions, the question is, does Global Strike have a preferred headset for training operations?
Hey, good afternoon. This is Senior Gilbert. We do not have a preference as far as brand or anything like that, but what we are focused on is that it has to be ruggedized and it has to be suitable for austere operational environments. So we are not looking for the normal goggles at this point. We're looking for something that can be used on the flight line and not interfere with any of their actions.
Yep, super. Thank you. And by the way, now that we're kind of going into the live question and answers, if you have follow-on questions or need confirmation or clarification, just go ahead and put that in the Q&A and we'll do our best to get those answered. The next two looks like they're also related to topic 1, XR. The question says, for the scientific feasibility assessment, particularly as it pertains to human factors, which forms the scientific foundation of the solution in this case, what type of scientific evidence is expected to support our assertions? Specifically, is it okay to summarize the scientific principle, or are there scientific journal citations required, and where should such references be placed?
So if the question is, if your solution, we're not approving your solution based on the evidence you provide. We're approving or selecting your solution based on our requirement, and we have deemed it as being feasible for an operational environment. Does that answer that question?
That's certainly fine. Looks like, yeah, I see Jim has a hand up. And by the way, I don't have visibility to all the hands, but if anybody wants to speak from the team, just please do, because I won't be able to see all those hands. But go ahead, sir.
Cody, I was just going to talk to add to the senior's comment. I was going to talk to the citations. If you choose to include anything, it goes in your 4-page white paper, no additional space. They are not required, but if you want to put any references, that would be where you would put them over.
Yeah, very good. And again, just the general idea for all the topics under, any kind of feasibility category, it's just helping the government understand that it makes sense. In this case, it makes sense from a scientific standpoint, and whatever data you want to bring forth to support that, will be valuable. Yeah. So next question, again, it's for topic 1 for the XR. It says in the operational impact section concerning Global Strike personnel, could you please clarify which specific user groups within Global Strike we should consider? Should we focus on end users such as technicians and subject matter experts, or should we also include the impact on managers, decision makers, and oversight personnel?
Awesome. Yes, we should focus on technicians and subject matter experts.
Super. Thank you. All right. I am asking the next question here. It says, we completed an Air Force Phase 2 that demoed a structural hypersonic thermal protection system.
I'm typing
Just
a
a comment
response.
there.
I'm typing a
Okay,
response.
copy. I see that. Thanks, Mike. Okay. Okay, then the next question, which is currently the last one. I'm sure there'll be more, but this is the last question currently. So feel free to add if you have further things that you'd like to ask. For the two-way high frequency topic, the question is, do you have a range requirement for this device? Also, do you have a need for voice or data or both?
Beyond line of sight. So think of the capability that SATCOM provides in a peer-to-peer or near-peer fight. SATCOM could be moot. So beyond line of sight is what we're looking for. We understand the implications or the limitations of HF. So if you have a data option that provides continuous connectivity, that could be great as well. CAPSA, anything to
No, sir, nothing else to add.
This is
Okay.
Nate. Obviously, anyone that does hobby, HF kind of work, it could be, halfway around the globe. So, ideally, that's what we're, shooting for, is that longest range shot communications, if feasible.
Super. Thank you. So topic 1, ARXR, is Global Strike seeking specifically a new hardware solution?
I wouldn't say we're seeking a new hardware solution. What we're seeking is the where we're at right now is we have not been able to cross from classroom environment to training proficiency as people need it. So as an example, our current construct in Global Strike is through supporting AETC in classroom environments with certain for the term we're using right now is like certain modules tied to specific lessons, and it is for educational or mostly foundational purposes. What we're looking for is a way, which will most likely become with a new hardware solution, but really the underlying piece that we need is to be able to have the architecture that if we need a maintainer to, maybe refresh on a task that they haven't done in a while, or it's a task that is takes more than one person, they're in a harsh weather environment, and they want to run through that task before they go out there to limit the amount of time that they're on the flight line. So that's what we're seeking.
Very good. Thank you. That answers the last live question. Other questions have come in, and some of them have been answered online here via text. So we have an open spot. If you have further questions, now's a great time to do that. Your subject matter experts are here ready and willing and eager to answer any questions you have to help you put the best foot forward. One thing that I will say, I'll say a few things here. If you have what you consider to be a partial solution, I strongly encourage you to still apply, to still submit. Sometimes it's the case that the government, in this case, Global Strike, may want to add, your technology in with another company to get kind of a complete system. That I think happens with some frequency. So don't feel like you have to have a full and complete solution. Certainly that's great, but if you have a partial, please apply. Also remind you that there's an option to request to do an outdoor demo if you're a finalist. So be sure as you're filling out all of your initial information, you find that. And if you feel like you want or need an outdoor demonstration for your topic, that you indicate, so we can help as we're kind of planning, moving indoor and outdoor. That'll be helpful. And again, anybody who is willing to share in the Q&A or the chat how they heard about Showcase, that would be super helpful for us as we continue to try to get the word out here, so that commercial industry can benefit by partnering with the government, but the government can benefit by the fantastic technology that's out there. Cody, here's a question. Cody, you mentioned 50 to 18 presentations for 30 to 31 July. Can industry expect 2 to 3 finalists per topic? So that's a great question. It'll totally be open to the government. If the government likes, 3 companies in one topic and none in the others, then that's who they'll invite. If they want to, it's whatever they feel scratches their itch, they're going to rack and stack them, and and then they're going to bring them. So I'm sure there'll be effort to get solutions for each topic. But if there's enough that wow them in one area, then they may overweight. That's really up to them. Nate, would you like to speak to that?
Sorry, I got distracted.
That's okay. I'd be happy to rephrase the question if that helps.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah. So just the question is, should they expect kind of an even spread, 2 to 3 finalists per topic, or is it the case that one topic may be overweighted because there's just more good solutions provided in another area? And my answer was just that it's definitely not. They don't plan on it being even. It might be uneven depending on what the government likes.
Right. It could be uneven just because of the fact that one topic there may not be many applicants. So then we'll adjust. But everything being equal, then yeah, we would kind of spread it across the board. Hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, that's super. That's really helpful. Thank you. Okay, yeah, looks like Patrick's letting us know how he heard. Super. Yeah, Jim, if you can kind of keep track of some of those, that would be great for our future reference. A question coming in here is Global Strike looking for forged or cast parts? That determines the alloy. When you say hybrid direct energy, does this mean lens, powder, or wire-based, or both?
Zach and I are putting together an email for this. Or
Okay.
a typed answer. I mean, not an email, sorry.
Yeah, a typed answer, sure. Yeah, okay. Yep, very good. Very good. So that leaves us, again, open currently. So I think what I'll do, again, please, we still have time. We got almost another half hour. So I'm gonna start with some closing comments, but I by no means am trying to close the AMA. If you have further questions, just please fire away, and I'll interrupt myself and read those. So again, yeah, we continue to welcome additional questions. We encourage everyone to apply. If you have further questions after the AMA, again, jim.long@smallbcc.com. I believe Joel had put that in the chat. Yep, there it is, as well as SBCC's showcase website, and also a place for you to join our network if you'd like to do that. Any final comments? Based on questions received during the AMA, happy to hear those. Again, the application deadline is May 24. And the benefits, short term, the goal for your company is to impress Global Strike decision makers and win this showcase and begin working with Global Strike and assist them with their issue. With that, I'll pause for a minute. I see another question here. It says, when you say A4, I assume Global Strike Command A4. I'm currently working with AFL, CMC, PEO, armament on the same lines of interests. Yeah, so when we say A4, you can assume that we're talking about Global Strike. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Longer term. So we talked about short-term goals. Again, longer-term goal is, just even applying again is winning. I mean, you're getting your technology in front of people who care about it and who would like to use it and who need it. And so you're going to get helpful, honest, direct feedback. They want technology that works. And if your technology works in 4 or 5 areas, but doesn't work in one of those 5, you're going to get that feedback and you'll know how to tweak or adjust, to help this particular customer. So super helpful to have that direct and honest feedback from actual users. You can begin building relationships with the key decision makers. And again, those relationships alone can take you very, very far, even farther than winning the showcase potentially if you make the right connections. You may get access to meet venture capitalists and get to know SBCC, who again are here to help you free of charge to present your technology to the Air Force, help you understand how the process works. The process wasn't designed to be extremely easy. It's designed to be effective and efficient. And so we try to help make it easier for you. And also, you'll come alongside and assist the Air Force, literally contribute to the safety and security of your own family and all the families in our United States. And again, last but not least, our hope, genuine hope, is that it's really very, very profitable for you. We want to grow the industrial, commercial industry so that they are there for our military as needed. So we want to see you succeed and do well. I don't see anything else coming in. I'll give a few more final comments. If you have anything else, feel free to jump in. This AMA will be available via YouTube. The link's going to be placed on our showcase website at the small BCC website. We will have one more AMA on May 21st. That'll be 11 a.m. Eastern. I do see a question here. Yeah, it looks like Jim's typing an answer for that one about applications. I will go ahead and just say thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for attending. Really look forward to receiving your applications, seeing the amazing things that you're putting so much effort into, and as you bring them to our military, hoping you and your company are able to meet the needs of our military and begin working together. Thank you again.